Why did Matt and Sean shoot Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos Season 2, Episode 8? That's what we're looking at today. Well, let's do the math. They went and visit Richie before. Richie doesn't even acknowledge them. Well, he talks to them, but he doesn't turn around in his seat, which I thought was a pretty funny scene, but obviously it's just him not really showing respect to these two jabronis. And to be fair, I don't think these two jabronis should be shown any respect because they're not very good. The only guy that showed them anything in this life, they end up shooting. Now, why did they shoot them? Well, obviously, Richie showed a wee bit of disdain, so to speak, for Christopher. Obviously, him being the uncle of Adriana and Christopher hitting her did not sit well with Richie Aprile, but by no means did he give the green light to Matt and Sean to kill them. But they thought, fuck it, we're not going to sit around here in the bada bing and be absolute jobbers for the rest of our lives. We may as well step up, make a name for ourselves, and do all this. But to me, this makes no sense if they think about it for one split second. It's not like Richie's running things, right? Tony's running things, and they know how close Tony and Christopher are. I mean, they're family. They're not even like just in the gang, the crew. They're actually family. So even if Richie approved this, right, which he just wouldn't have ever approved this, or even when they did it, he wasn't that bothered. He was like, oh, you did a good job, Matt and Sean, despite the fact that um, Sean's dead and Matt's running about like a headless chicken and Richie throws a baseball bat at him. I don't see what the end game was for these two. It was always going to end badly, even if Christopher died and none of them died. Because at the end of the day, they would either had to have done it and not revealed it to anyone, but that goes against the whole reason why they did it. They wanted to do it to earn their stripes with Richie. I mean, I guess you could argue that maybe if this went according to plan, Richie could have made a move on Tony. And if Richie killed Tony, that could have been it. That could have been Richie Aprile in charge with Uncle Junior's backing. But again, I think this was absolutely ludicrous for these two. I think there was loads of other stuff they could potentially have done here instead of attempting to kill Christopher. And it almost came across a bit forced. I know what you're realistically looking at here is that it just shows like how idiotic and stupid these two were to even attempt something like this. But realistically, you've got Tony sitting with a psychiatrist. These two ran into Richie, and then the next scene, it's like, all right, Chris walks out of the club, and these two just shoot him. Like there's just like no build up to it whatsoever. And I get it, right? They want to hold the cards close to their chest sometimes, but I feel like this was just too forced and beyond stupid. And the shootout itself, he can't get his seatbelt off. I know it kind of goes to show that these two are amateur, but come on, what are we doing here? It was almost as bad as Tony getting shot in the episode 11 of last season. Nobody knows anything. Honestly, I don't think anybody knows anything in this show anymore. I think this show is completely. Was it episode 12 Tony gets shot in, or 11? I can't even remember, man. But regardless, I think it might be 12. Regardless, I think this shootout is up there. At least though, there's a few shots that are actually fucking landed for both parties, rather than Tony getting off scot free or whatever. Or he gets a bit of his ear shot, doesn't it? His ear gets hit. Does Tony's ear? I think his ear gets hit, like skimmed or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. But anyway, guys, that's why these two decided to do it. But in my opinion, it has to be one of the most stupidest fucking reasons ever. Because Richie by no means gave a green light. But anyway, till next time, your thoughts down below. That's Vlog Entertainment signing out.